And here we are, back
Dearest
again.
DM,
Yes.
did you know that there is a recording in progress? Okay, you
Oh
can
my
continue
god,
now.
Jacob's back. The recording's in progress.
I'm going to shut up now. You can talk.
Promise? No, I'm kidding. We're back. It's been a hot minute for us, so I'm gonna do a quick recap of the last few weeks here. Just to kind of let everybody know, kind of remember where we are. So, just to give everybody a little background, you're currently at the Wavering Tower, which, because of fight that you guys had with Sabbath's estranged family, because it wasn't just one, it was a group effort. Damaged the tower, so right now it is both visible and unable to move. So Goon went down, took a look at it, yada yada. You were all given keys that made doors and very plain looking rooms inside the lantern. That was a thing. What else was there? But yeah, essentially you were told to go and wait for a meeting. Sabbath is in the infirmary, as they have an affliction where they have gone unconscious because of the spell plague, and anytime anyone else who's unconscious because of the spell plague is put anywhere near them, they seem to start to levitate and are drawn to it. So that can't be good, but we'll see what happens there. And yeah, past that, Hestia has been watching over Sabbath while everybody else kind of did their own thing.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Which one of my 7 evil family members did you guys fight? Because I'm learning my own lore right now.
So Lita, betrayed the Wavering Tower. They were like a sleeper agent.
Lita is my
half sister.
half-sister. Yes, okay.
And then your
Lita and
Judas.
Your half brother Judas.
I missed Judas. No.
Judas, no.
Judas hasn't done anything yet.
Okay, cool.
He's just dead.
I knew what you were doing, don't worry.
And then there was your mother Calamity and your evil stepfather Don Belleron.
What's my stepfather's name?
Don Belleron.
Oh. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, cool.
Sounds evil, TBH.
His name is not Donald. He is a Don.
He is the Don.
He's like Godfather.
He's a mobster.
Italian crime family.
Except tiefling.
Tiefling crime family.
Was it tiefling or was it dragonborn?
No, they're
all different colored tieflings, right?
I think
they're
so.
Technically type.
Okay.
Version tiefling.
Yes. The in-world name. Write that down.
It's not. They are like once I get book out, you'll see Typh are more than just tieflings. Right now, we're just using the stats for tieflings.
Yeah.
Just like Starborn are very different than Asmar, but we're just using the stats for Asmar. They have their own culture. They are going to have their own stats and everything, but right now it's just easier for us to just use Tiefling and Asmar, but thematically possibly drawing from the same well, but very, very different culture-wise. he said, not defensive about it at all.
I wasn't saying anything.
In this rundown, can we include something that happened with kobolds, I think?
Oh, Spike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You had everybody met Spike,
Spike!
the chimeric kobold.
That accidentally turned into kind of our pet? Question mark?
Yeah.
Did he? Because I haven't talked to anyone about him, and I don't really know what's happening with this thing.
I was like,
Yeah.
there's a sack that came. I said that there was a sack that came through, and then I also had forgotten that there was Spike. So I ended up being able to use that sack and say, yes, Spike was in that sack somehow.
He was in the sack the whole time.
Yes. Anyway, so I just have found this thing that I'm trying to communicate with. That's what I've done so far with Spike.
And we debated on telling the witches of the Wavering Tower about this spell-plagued children, and I think we did ultimately tell them about one of them.
Yes.
But
and now we
yeah,
are waiting to have a meeting with them.
you are about to have a meeting with Bellark and Canis and possibly others. You're about to have a big old summit. So if everybody's ready, let's strap in and get to it. All right. So, y'all wake up the next day. You are all gonna leave the lantern because that's what you were asked to do.
Mhm.
At the moment, Goon is oversleeping, most likely in the tub. And
I told him not to go in there.
And Rebecca is missing, but left a note saying that they'll be back later. So you are outside of the lantern. You're still on like the top floor of the Wavering Tower that has nice window view because of the cannonball. Yeah, I will point out Sabbath and Hestia are currently not here. They are still in the infirmary. I'll let you know when you guys come.
Question. Where in here is the infirmary? Are we in the lantern or the tower?
The tower.
Tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oakley Dokley. Is there anything you guys want to do before going up to the summit?
No, I think that's the goal. So I think that's pretty much where I'm focused.
Yeah, are we all in our rooms right now?
You're all outside of the lantern.
Oh, then yeah, we probably should just go.
Okay. So you kind of make your way over. There's a door that kind of goes up to the spiral, like a spiral staircase, and it looks like there's only like a couple more landings above you, and you kind of walk up the stairs and go that way. You come to a large, kind of ornate door. It looks a lot nicer than most of the other ones, and instead of a like one door, it's a double door. It's a wide door. Who would like to open the door?
Should we check for traps?
Are they going to trap us?
That seems rude.
I thought this was amicable.
The only thing I'm thinking is, well, the only thing I'm hoping right now is that there's going to be some sort of, this is like a luncheon type deal or like a brunchin type deal.
Meaning you want them to feed us?
Well, I would like to eat. I haven't eaten yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that is an aspiration.
So are we checking for traps or food?
Why
I
not
thought
both?
that we were just hoping for information about the spell plague. but it seems like we have different priorities here. Do we want to see if we smell anything, or do we want to see if we hear anything coming from inside before we go in? Like, are they whispering things before we go in there?
I mean, yeah, that might be a good idea.
So you want to like check on the door to see if you smell or hear anything on the other side.
Yes, specifically smell or hear.
Perception check.
I'm pretty good at perception. 19.
I didn't roll very well.
Do I smell or hear anything?
So all you smell is like you put your head up to the door and you like smell or kind of like sniff and up your hand over your ear to try to hear. All you
At
smell
the
is
same time?
all you smell is the wood of the door. Um, it doesn't smell that bad, and it sounds unnaturally quiet when you put your hand up to the door. Like you should expect to hear something, but you don't.
All I can
Perfect.
hear is my
Love
stomach
that.
gurgling.
Okay, well, let's get Corbin in there.
All right, so you guys.
I will push the 2 doors open dramatically.
All right, so you push the.
There's no goon, so Imogene's doing
You lift your foot.
it. Yeah,
So
the everything key.
you push the door open, and as you push it open, you see this is a very large, kind of circular room that has a very large dome, probably a good 30 feet above you. And this seems to be the very top of the Wavering Tower. It is very nice. It is very ornate. In the middle, you see a large round table with multiple seats. You see that there's another door on like the left. Like there's multiple doors, and you see a door open on the right hand side as Hestia and Sabbath are pulled, like kind of walking through. Sabbath kind of leaning on Hestia as they walk forth. At the other side of the table, you see Bellark, Canis, and a couple of aides. And they are standing in front of a large, like, massive map. And can everybody give me a perception check?
Yes, sir.
Can I have
I couldn't
advantage
find
because I was
any.
already perceiving really hard from trying to see things outside of the room?
I could not find any of my D&D stuff, so we're rolling on fucking.
I hit a nat 20.
Nice. I got a 15 total. I am specifically looking for food, by the way.
I got 20, but I still think that I deserve advantage.
That's a big old girthy 7.
Okay, so everyone who got over, I'll say a 12.
Not bliss.
As you look at the map, you are able to see that it seems you can see the wave, like the clouds, and you can see some of the waves crashing against the beach on the shores and everything there.
An
In
interactive map.
Yeah, this map is magical. And seems to show multiple things. Imogene and Sabbath, your eyes aren't just drawn to the map, but also on the table. And you see on the table there is a large box that has been opened and kind of overturned. And you see that there is a multitude of different figures, like figurines.
These are the things that they were trying to collect, and didn't we see figures on the map? Weren't we in this map room before?
No.
Didn't we see where there were the other figures at one time?
No, this is different. These are actual figurines. Since Sabbath rolled a natural 20, I will tell Sabbath what the figurines look like. A couple of them look like you.
That's
Like you guys.
ominous. That's like
Oh
us,
boy.
like party, or us, like me specifically?
Like you guys, the party.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say that's really unsettling.
I have a question. Are there dice?
No.
Oh. So you're saying we can't play D&D
D20.
within D&D?
Yo,
That would be
God.
hilarious.
So Bellar kind of waves you all in. He says, thank you for making your way quickly to me this morning. As you can see, seems one of your friends has made a miraculous recovery. Canis is still keeping an eye on them, but how are you feeling, Sabbath?
I feel all right. I'm a little woozy, perhaps. A little out of place. But otherwise, I'm on my feet.
Well, it's very uncommon for us to see someone with your particular affliction make such a speedy recovery or recovery at all. Very odd
You're
indeed.
welcome.
That's the right answer.
So to kind of let you in on what we've been planning, getting this room put together, was one of the reasons why we had to set it up to wait. There are many things happening within the realm right now with that we can see, that we can predict, and that we fear. So we thought it would be prudent, if not just pragmatic, for us to try to plan and address as many of these instances of evil, so to say, or set some goals of how we can help. You'll see that there's a box in front of you. Inside this box, you'll find all a figurine for each issue that we are currently having, and that we are currently facing. So as you come to think of it, you'll be able to find it inside the box. Does anybody have any questions before we get started?
Where's the breakfast bar?
And he just kind of looks over to one of the aides, whispers, and then looks back up. Breakfast will be here shortly.
I do the little, my arms are on my torso. I'm just, tapping my belly a little bit with my, fingers. Ooh.
Canis looks over. He just kind of smirks. He rolls his hand, and as he rolls his hand, you see a large apple just kind of grow out of the palm of his hand, and he passes it over to you.
I take it, I guess, and then I look to him to see if I should be eating this. I've never eaten magical fruit before. At least I don't think so.
There's a first time for everything.
Yep. I take a bite.
Yes, food will be delivered quickly. Anything else? Anything pressing?
Just the food.
I'd like to know what they think all of the problems are before we
Add our
decide
own.
what the problems are.
There's also if they have an itemized list of things they need to get the Wavering Tower fixed.
Yeah. So first and foremost, we we do need to get the Wavering Tower fixed so that one, we are able to cloak ourselves so that we can be safe, and then we need to try to find a way to move from where we are, because where we are right now isn't the best. So he snaps his fingers, and two figurines kind of like slide out onto the table. One is a crystal tower, and one seems to be made of like a yellow or golden metal.
Yeah, but what kind of crystal? The witches
Like
want to know.
like a very
Legit.
clear, like a clear crystal.
Clear quartz. Got it.
So he takes out a quill and kind of waves his hand. Another board comes out and starts writing on there. The quill starts writing on the board. It says cloaking. Underneath there's a dash, and it says erythium.
That was the name of the metal.
Yeah. So we will need a large quantity, probably 50 to 100 pounds of erythium to cloak ourselves for about a week. Um, the next one is movement, and they've have a little dash, and they kind of look over to you guys, and we're like, finding the material that we need to move the wavering tower is going to be a possibly harder to find. Erythium we might be able to find at like a mage's emporium, but we would need something akin to preferably a portal engine. But if we had even just a portal disc, we might be able to do a single jump to somewhere a little bit more safe. So it may burn that portal disc out. So then it just says like, it's the quill starts writing portal disc / engine. So those are the two main things that we need. We might be able to find erythium in a town close by. So he takes up the crystal tower, and he actually puts it, like presses it against the map, and it kind of flutters and moves around, and then places itself not far from where you guys see that you are, which is still maybe a couple inches away from the wall of Galterra on this map. It places itself above a village called Fael.
How do I spell that?
Fae with umlauts, or the two dots or whatever. L.
Like how I spell my name.
Yes.
He picks up and holds the gold tower. Sabbath, can you roll me an Arcana or a history check?
I sure can. Which am I better at? I'm not great at either of them. All right, we're gonna do Arcana.
Yep.
18.
So you realize while he's talking about portal discs that you have one.
I do. Sure, okay. Portal discs. I think I have one of those.
Oh?
Was this given? It was given to me by Ori, right?
No, it was given to you by the mayor.
The mayor. Okay, I forget how I got things. Okay. Yeah, I was given one of those before I left home.
So are you going to pull it? Will you pull it out of your pack?
Yes.
So he looks at it. He's like, do you mind if I take a look at this?
Sure.
He picks up and he looks at it. This may allow us to do a single jump but and you see as he kind of traces, it looks like he runs his finger around the edge, and it starts to kind of glow. Not that he's trying to use the power; he's casting Identify on it,
Okay.
so you can learn a few things about it. Because this may just work. And he just kind of pockets not the key, but he pockets the tower, like the golden tower, into his pocket because he doesn't need to put it on the map anymore.
Okay.
Uh, it will take some time to recalibrate this. It is quite small. It is quite old, and it is a little simple. It seems to be tied to a single place.
Place would be my home,
Where is your home?
Iridan.
Does Corbin know what Iridan is?
You would know where Iridan is, yes.
Okay.
There's also a map in front of you.
Fair.
That's so fair.
Being like, hey, I know what Iridan is, but does my character? And then it's just like, yeah, there's a map. Oh yeah, whoops.
Use your eyes, Corbin.
I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
So it will take some time to.
They gave you an apple.
It's magic.
It will take some time to recalibrate it so that one, it will fit the engine. I do apologize. In order to move the entirety of the tower, it will most likely incinerate this portal disk.
That's all right. I suppose it's for the greater good.
I have a question. Do we have to recalibrate it? Is Iridan not safe?
Well, if my calculations are correct, if we were to use it as is right now before recalibrating it, the Wavering Tower would appear in the middle of Iridan, where there may already be something or someone.
Might not be a good idea to crush the townsfolk, yes.
Please don't crush my grandma.
So even if we just recalibrate it to possibly place us somewhere around this area, and you see he kind of points to like the forest area outside of Iridan. At least if we go there, it should be a little bit safer. The next order of business that we have, I think that we can all agree on, the generals that were released from the canopic jars, and the last canopic jar that needs to be found.
Yes. Oh yeah,
So,
and that one is to the south of us, I believe.
yeah, so from our intel and from the information that we have, we know that the last, at least to our understanding, the main last canopic jar for the general, and he goes into the box and he pulls out a figure of a Hydra, and he goes over to the map and he places it in the southern jungle. To our knowledge, the last general's canopic jar should be around this area. I will advise that if we are looking for, so will the other generals. And he kind of pulls out. How many generals have you guys have met so far? Sphinx, Chimera, Manticore,
The bird one.
Yeah, the four. He's the fifth. Okay, yeah. So he pulls out the other four. He places them at different points on the map. So our scrying puts these generals at least around these locations. So you see like the harpy is placed high in the hollow hills. You see the chimera weirdly seems to be out to sea in like the Bay of Nerept. The Sphinx is further south in the Chivenary, and the Manticore is placed further north, almost into like higher than Irid.
Oh, as he's placing that one, up past Eridan is the place that we got a note for.
Which note?
I forget the name already, but
Harrow's
it was
Point.
yes, Harrow's Point.
So he looks at you. He's like, Harrow's Point. Okay.
I believe that's all that the note said. Yes.
Okay. So he goes and he's like, okay. Goes into the box and he pulls out a figurine. It's just a small figurine, but it has a crown, and he puts that over Harrow's Point, which is kind of on the northwestern most coast. It's pretty far up. It's further up than Iridan, and everything else around it seems to be white, like it's covered with snow and ice.
By crown, why did you put a crown? Do you know something? All we know really is about we are supposed to go there, I believe.
Seskel.
Is this about
Pardon?
Emperor Siskel?
Roll a history.
I, Justin, kind of know, but I don't think Corbin does.
You guys were close.
I, Justin, also might be wrong.
You guys, I do remember. I did tell you it was just a very long time ago.
That's 11.
I rolled a 21.
Who rolled a 21?
Imogene.
Imogene, you remember that Wick told you that you needed to go to Harrow's Point to find someone by the name Ulrich, who has a claim to the crown.
Ulrich?
Ulrich.
Ulrich.
Like walrus without the
Claim to
W.
I think it's IS, not AS.
I mean, I'm only
Oh,
accepting it
never
being
mind, it's
walrus without
ESS.
the W, but
Rolrus. Okay. So that's another thing there. Those are the major contenders. What about, is there anything else that you want us to put up on this board here? Maybe we should go around in a circle.
Okay. Should we, sit down at the table?
Yes.
Yeah, how many
I
seats
start
are at the
walking
table?
over, and as I do, I try to think of a figurine and grab it.
Okay. Like you're just, what one are you looking for?
I'm looking for tuba.
So
smart.
Well, it's not necessarily to be like, here, let's try to find them. It's more or less here's a memento of tuba, just in case we never see tuba again.
okay, so you're looking for a thing for tuba?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
I sure can't. Oh, actually, never mind. I sure can. That's a 24.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm really good at investigation.
So you look through the box, and as you look into the box, you saw there were figurines falling out of it. When you look into it, you kind of don't really see anything. It just kind of looks dark in it. You place your hand in it as you're thinking of tuba, and then you feel something kind of brush against your hand. And you pick it up, and it looks like an elephant skull.
I think I want to put that back.
No.
That's not a memento I want.
So the elephant skull, it isn't white. It doesn't look like it's made of bone. It looks like it's made of like a black, almost oily looking stone.
Obsidian.
Obsidian time.
It is
Everyone screams out what the rock is.
I
It's not
like
obsidian.
It's a fun game. Let us have our simple pleasures.
Roll if you want to know what kind of rock it is, you can roll nature.
Okay,
You're a party pooper.
that's a nat 1.
What if
The
you just want
person
to
who
guess
has
wildly what
obsidian
kind of
growing
rock
off
it is?
of their arm doesn't know what obsidian looks like.
Obsidian is weird.
16. Do I know it's obsidian?
It's not obsidian.
Rude.
It's called oil stone.
Is that a real life thing?
No, I have no idea.
I didn't think so.
I have question.
It's more like a black agate or agate or whatever.
That's not really
looks-
oily looking. That's neither here nor there, though. I don't want to ruin your game. I'm sorry.
I can say it's not obsidian.
Good news. It's used to help ease nausea and indigestion.
So
Well, that's
Respiratory
almost
issues.
definitely helpful.
as you pull this out of the box, Bellark says, "That's an odd figure."
Yes.
So every figure has a meaning. Why would you pull that one?
No reason. I try to pocket it.
Bellark,
See if he'll allow me.
Bellark, he lets you pocket it because he just kind of like turns away. He's like, I don't have a place that I can put that on the map right now. But you can keep it till later.
Okay.
Now I have a question.
Okay, what's up?
Is there one in there for Ori?
In what way? Like what do you want with Ori?
Just a little memento, because Sabbath is lonely.
Bellard kind of looks at you sideways. He's like, these are for issues. So if there's an Ori in there, then that means that possibly they might be doing something important.
Perhaps it's better that we don't know.
Oh, come on.
He reaches his hand and he's like, oh. And he pulls out, he does pull out it's like an opal. But on this opal, it's like it's almost like the size of his hand. It looks like there's something like some shadows pressed onto it, almost like drawn into it.
I don't like that.
And you can see that one of them is holding a Kanabo.
Grandma.
One of them seems to be a lot bigger and is holding hatchet hands. There's a knife.
Dual wielding axes.
Dual wielding axes, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
There seems to be a rotund person with a long thin sword, and there seems to be a robot with a stick.
Oh, okay, cool. I dig it.
Robot with a stick. That is what numeral 3 is to you?
So I can tell you he has a stick. He doesn't have any keys.
They're all in his back pocket.
I was going to say, I assure you that they have many keys, actually.
They just don't use them.
So he's like, I actually know where this one seems to be drawn to a particular place. And you see that he puts this opal right next to the Sphinx Lord in the Shivnari. So he looks over to you and says, so to answer your question, it seems that your grandmother is further south.
Back in Shivnari. She hasn't been there in years.
Since before you were born.
I know that there's been a disturbance. I can only see so much, but perhaps this may have something to do with the general there. It's hard to say. There could be many things happening in that area of the world. It's harder to see.
It's enough for me to know that she's all right.
So I'm going to go around the table and I'm going to ask if there's anything that you think we may have forgotten. We're going to go one by one. This can be individual. This could be something that we might be able to help you with. Or this may be something much larger. Anything you think of, no bad ideas. Just let us know. Understand?
Yep.
Not really, but that's fine. I'm just here.
Yes, sir. Which general, sir?
Everyone seems to just be vibing.
Imogene.
My question is more a question of the general team, and it is about the spell plague.
That's
Okay.
a helpful question.
My interest is piqued.
What do you know about it? And is it not a problem that needs to be solved? Is it at all related to any of this?
That's a good question. It is true we have seen a spike in cases of spell plague since a lot of this has happened. In particular, with the advent of Emperor Seskel taking the throne, we seem to see a lot more cases of spell plague, as well as some cases of movement, infiltration, we'll say. So he goes into the box and he pulls out two figures. One is a Caduceus staff, and the other one is uh, the emblem of Emperor Seskel's flag, like the beholder. So he puts the beholder in the middle of Galterra, which you will all know is like where the seat of power is. And the Caduceus staff, which is for the spell plague, he places down in Salingsa, which is much further south. In addition, because that will give you information about the spell plague, we do have one, like, possibly, there's a possibility that there may be material or an ingredient that may be able to be made into a potion that could lift
Material or ingredients, you say?
Corbin's
that
ears perk up at that.
that could lift something as powerful as the spell plague. If our studies on this ingredient are correct, it could even reverse the effects of death.
What is the name of it?
It has a very simple sounding name. Do not let it fool you. And he goes into the box and he pulls out what looks like a moss covered rock.
Moss agate. Sorry.
It's called moon moss. It's said to grow in the deepest, darkest caves underneath swamps. Not going to be an easy place to get to, and it's
Not
extremely rare.
something me, a druid, could just randomly grow, huh?
No, not without at least having a bit of it.
Okay.
You might be able to as a druid, draw more from it.
Yeah.
But to kind of talk meta for a second, it would be considered an artifact. So more than a legendary item. It is said to be able to draw the souls of the dead back into their body. It does have its own risks, but there is a possibility that you might be able to find a few samples of it. And if you bring it back here, we'll be able to, or bring it back to us, we'll be able to manufacture at least a few doses of a cure. And he takes it and he puts it, it's further up the coast from where you guys are, because the way that the continent, it's like a crescent moon, it kind of goes up and around. And he puts it further north, but not quite up to where like the tundra is. He puts it near a swamp.
To the swamp.
Yeah, that's something that I would really be interested in because, as you know, my as some of you have I told everyone yet? And I kind of look around the room. I forget who I've told.
I don't think Sabbath knows.
The new people wouldn't, but maybe Bliss and Imogene know.
I think Bliss does. I think
Okay.
so.
Everyone kind of meta knows it.
Oh, Imogene definitely does. We've talked about it.
I'm fairly certain that Imogene is the one I've told everything to. Well, my I have a child, and they have the spell plague, so I am very interested in that.
And so am I, because it's plant based. And because I care
you're
about
compassionate.
Corbin. Yeah. Meta, obviously, it is aligned with my character.
I guess grab one of the. Well, I go and grab a piece for Sandy, and then
That's not how it works.
Huh?
That's not how it works.
Oh. They're important to me.
Yeah. So the caduceus staff and selling saw they're like these are all like map markers, right? So the caduceus staff is pointing you towards selling saw for research, and the moon moss is a map marker, lets you know where the moon moss is. Does that
We're
make more
playing a
sense?
very elaborate fantasy game of Monopoly right now.
Yeah. To the swamps.
Okay.
I would like to go to the swamps.
Is there anything else that you feel like you should bring up right now, Imogene?
Oh my god, no, why me?
You said you started talking first.
Is this like a quiz that I'm not passing? I'm no longer impersonating someone.
Can you check your messages?
I saw what you sent me. I just don't know what it means. The wanted posters.
Oh, yeah, you found wanted posters of all of us, remember?
Did I?
Yeah, you did. No one else, just you.
You were you were given them. You haven't told anybody yet. You don't have to. I just wanted to make sure that
we kind of all knew that we were wanted.
Yes, but you didn't know that there's wanted posters and they have your faces.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess my concern would be that we are wanted by the law. Is that worrisome to anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that was part and parcel of what we were doing here.
So did Imogene. Who is it exactly that has an issue with us? Is it Emperor Seskel?
It would be Emperor Seskel. This isn't something that would need a marker or anything like this, but it is something important to know, especially for some of these missions that we're working on here.
Mm-hmm.
As you may draw some unwanted attention if you go into a new area or town. There's
Whoa, we
haunted.
need disguises. I
Wait,
want
does
a
that mean I have to
mustache.
shave off my mustache?
I'll take it.
You guys can trade.
I'll give someone else my mustache.
That's how it works.
All right.
That's a problem we'll come back to. Secondarily, do you happen to know anything about my wife?
You're married?
Yes.
Long story.
Well, long story. I didn't think she cared about me anymore, but I've recently heard she did. Do you know where I might find her?
He puts his hand into the box and he pulls out a figurine of a coiled snake. I do believe that her father is a newly appointed duke of an island just off the coast, and you see like he takes the figurine and he goes straight west, past the Hollow Hills, past the desert, and past the cliffs on the western coast, and puts the figurine of the coiled snake in the Western Ocean. So, from what I understand, it's like not very far from the West Coast, but it would be to our understanding at least that that's where you would need to go if that's where you're looking for.
Well, then maybe when this is all over, that's where I'll head for.
Understandable. All right, Bliss, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
shit,
just
wait. I have another question. It's
Okay.
about the strawberry milkshake man.
Oh yeah.
You see, Monkus just kind of pokes his head out. He's like, "Coming."
the strawberry milkshake man. Yep.
Oh, thank the Lord. I
As you
don't have
see,
very many friends, but Corbin and the strawberry milkshake man are it.
R2.
Monkus comes out, and you see that Monkus is pushing a cart that has a multitude of different kinds of like sweets and food on it. It's like, I heard you guys
Oh,
were hungry,
yes.
Amazing.
so you all can start picking off of that. But yes, Monkus is safe, and is where he's supposed to be. We'll move over to Bliss now.
Okay.
What are your worries, concerns, possible personal missions?
I'm having a lot of visions. I turned into a dinosaur. Those are my worries.
Like dinosaurs? What was your vision of?
Sorry, just putting the puppy outside.
Okay.
Would that I could remember, my dear DM.
Um, yeah, that was like almost 2 years ago now. Your vision was meeting a moon dragon and uh, what was it? What was that? What else was it? It was meeting the moon dragon, and you saw Galterra before it was Galterra.
Right, but I also saw another one while looking at a painting in the house in the lantern and turned into a dinosaur. Did I not?
You did.
Okay.
What you saw was a group of other people.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, the group of
And
other people is with you now.
was it like the people who have now joined us?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm having visions. I'm turning into things without wanting to turn into things.
As you say this, you see on the map there seems like a streak starts to appear, like a pink streak. And Bellark looks at it and he's kind of turning his head because this isn't a figurine. This is something that's happening on the map.
See,
He looks
weird
over,
stuff happens.
he looks over at you and he's like, is this the same color of what you've been seeing?
Yes, I think so.
I'll get back to you on that one. I think you've been visited by something very special. Possibly, hopefully, a good omen in our case.
Well, that would be nice. Good omen would be good. I'd like that.
I'll have to gather a couple of books, but before you leave, I'll give you a few books for you to read to learn more about the visions that you're experiencing.
One of them is called Good Omens.
Sounds helpful. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna move over to Hestia. Are you here right now?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just the standing man emoji.
I was hoping that your internet wasn't acting.
Yeah,
wonky.
it hasn't dipped in a while, but knowing my luck, it's gonna disappear as soon as I start talking.
So, Hestia, do you have any worries, concerns?
Well, I have a decent... Oh god, did it quit? Did my internet quit? Please don't do this.
We can hear
We
you.
can still hear you. We can still hear you.
Okay. It just sounded like Jacob just like suddenly got cut off, and I was like, oh god, not this! Okay. Right. I have a lot of worries and concerns, because, I was in a library, and then I was in another plane. Now I'm here. I have no goddamn clue what any of you are talking about. I don't know any of your names. I have no idea what's going on. But I do know that I had been praying to Petrogoth for a purpose. To find my way to make the realms better. And clearly I'm here for a reason. I suppose I should start by figuring out what that reason is.
So you're expecting me to put my hand into this box and pull you out a purple?
Well, a hint would be nice. Or, I don't know, is there a Cliff Notes version of what the fuck is going on?
I love her.
We can talk after, and I can give you the
What
was that? The quick notes?
Cliff Notes, it's a...
Sorry,
there's a scholar where I'm from
whose name is
takes notes
Cliff?
rather quickly.
Yes.
No, her name is Sharon. She just lives on a cliff.
Ah.
So he puts his hand in, and he's kind of like got a little bit of a grin on his face, and he pulls out two figures. Like,
The twin motif.
the first one is a violin, and he places it right next to the coiled snake on the west coast.
Oh, Jesus, I know what that is.
The other figurine that he pulls out is a ship boat that he places on like the northwestern kind of coast. He places it in like close to Iridan, like it's further out to sea. But as he places it, you see that you look very closely and give me a perception check.
Okie dokie, here
Is
we
that
go.
all of us as well?
You can if you want to.
That's a big ol' girthy 16.
I got a 17.
I'm going to
I'm
roll
also
as an
from the
irritant
card.
person.
I'm also looking from the card.
Dirty 20.
So far, everybody that's rolled that wants to, you see that it looks like the ship is moving very slowly because it's a very large map. But it seems to be moving as if it's slowly moving toward the Earth.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
What does the ship look like?
The ship, it seems to have black sails.
That's never
It's made of black, like a black wooded material,
not obsidian.
not obsidian.
No, because it's also wood. It's like a. It's also. It's just a dark wood. Probably a dark stain on the wood.
So Bellark looks at you and he's like, or he looks at Hestia, sorry, and says, "Do these ring any bells to you?"
Oh, they ring several. Well, that certainly narrows it down. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Thank you. And my eyes are kind of gonna blue screen a little bit.
You're gonna start chomping on the sweets.
Do we want to know, or should we ask what those mean? Do you know what those mean?
Well, if I'm willing to take a guess, the violin is my father who abandoned me to die, and the ship is probably my brother who, until like a day ago, I assumed was dead.
Oh, you need a milkshake.
That's true.
Hey, Monkus.
Monkus leans over and just waves his hand and can somebody roll me a d20?
Can
God.
somebody make sure Gabby's alive?
I'll roll the
I wasn't
d20.
expecting that.
Oh God! I should have rolled. Oh no! I rolled a 1.
So he reaches over and he creates a glass, and for a second the glass is full of strawberry milkshake. But as he's passing it to you, the glass itself starts to shake, and the milkshake itself explodes in his hand. Nobody's hurt, but there is a little bit of a mess.
Jesus
I
Christ.
stare at it for a second, and I say, "Well, that tracks."
Did
He's like,
someone blow that up with their mind?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he waves his hand and creates another milkshake and he gives it to you. The second one does not explode.
I sip on it as my eyes once again blue screen.
We still need to roll for that.
No, not the second one.
Oh. Okay.
He's just every so often he's really good at making strawberry milkshakes, but every so often they explode. Corbin.
Yes.
Master Corbin.
Sorry. 1 second. And he is trying to finish his bite of donut. Yes.
Thoughts, concerns?
I mean, everything kind of concerns me.
Ain't that a mode?
Sabbath and Corbin just kind of high five.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, again, my personal reasons for being out here is to find a cure or something for my child. We've already kind of gone over that. I guess I remember something about. Are we going to do something about the, mass grave underneath Galterra?
Right, that too.
The what?
There's a. Do you know of Camurians?
Do I?
Well, you can roll me a history check.
One moment.
You should know of one.
That was a
Well,
16.
Yeah, roll that history of advantage now that I think about it, because that would
Nat 20.
Morians were the people that were here before the Terrans, that were in tune with the elements, like Whisper.
Oh! Okay.
Yep. Genasi is the stats that we were using for them.
Yeah.
I love Whisper.
Yeah.
Also, I've been rolling really well today.
That makes one of us.
Sadly, that is something that we all know. We know of, but there's not much that we can do. So Bellark looks over at Sabbath, because Sabbath is a little confused about what's going on. When the King Galame, the Terran king who sailed here and feddled, he says with air quotations, there were people that were already here that kind of built his empire, in this case, quite literally on top of.
Okay.
So underneath the capital, deep underneath the capital, are the ruins of a Comorian city, the Comorian capital of Alcamor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's said that the Comorians that were there do not rest.
Oh, it's more than just said. It is real. We saw quite a lot of elemental, like ghosts and zombies, kind of.
I know some of you called that city home, but they do deserve to rise above the places where they were, where they stay.
Are you saying that we should release them on Galterra?
No.
Okay.
Who are you
Because
gonna call?
we have some family there.
No, it's more you see, like, he says it like very solemnly. He's very sad. He's like, sadly, there's nothing that we can do unless you want to try to wipe them out
I
force, which I think that's kind of beside the purpose at that point, isn't it?
I
We
don't
got it.
think causing a second genocide of the Camurians is a good idea. Just saying.
yeah.
Gonna go with a hard no on the genocide, please?
Maybe find a way to put them at peace type of deal would be much better.
I might be
much
able
better
to
option.
help with that.
In what way?
I see dead people.
Are there dead people around right now?
Sabbath, roll me a perception check.
Okay. Perception check. Just a flat perception?
Yep.
12?
You don't see any dead people around at the moment.
No. Like Sabbath pauses for a moment and just like looks around and no.
Do you know if they're dead?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm less worried.
Okay. You're okay. You're alive.
Yes, I believe so. I look to everyone else, kind of for reassurance.
Yeah, you're alive. We see you.
Okay,
We
good.
can't see dead people.
Because I kind of
Eugene
almost
nods.
died yesterday, so I'd like that's a thing. Actually, not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Is there anything else that might concern you?
I look towards my Facebook messages. Is there anything that
No,
the
I
DM can
haven't.
think of? Because I'm out.
I mean, I can't really just hand it to you, can I?
Like,
Yes.
do we need to talk about my patron?
I don't know. Do we?
Should we talk about? So,
Um, you want to know more about your patron?
I mean, that would be cool. I learned a bit from them, and I learned a bit earlier on about how Elderpon helped with sealing the generals away in the first place.
Yes, but one good act, not
Oh yeah, no,
for
I know the stories. I've read the stories plenty of times.
the the only thing that I can say is be wary, and you're not alone.
Uh, can you clarify the "I'm not alone" part? Are you meaning like physically, or are you saying that there are more like eldritch people who have a pact with Elderpon?
I will say you're not the first person I've seen bonded to him.
Okay.
Just stay on your toes. And you see, he goes in and he takes out a figure, but this figure looks like a person.
Okay.
Look, it looks to be kind of carved out of some kind of pearlescent stone. Uh, and he goes to place it on the map, but it doesn't go anywhere. He just kind of tosses it over to you.
I guess I'll take a closer look.
So you look at it, and all you can tell is that it looks like some kind of warrior. That's all you can
Can I
tell.
make it like a race or?
Roll an insight.
Okay. That I am okay at. 21.
It looks to be some kind of humanoid race. They look to be pretty strong, but it's not very detailed. You can't quite tell who it is. It could be an elf. It could be a dwarf. It's hard to tell.
Okay. One of them strong elves.
All right,
I guess
Sabbath.
I'd pocket that one.
Hello.
Any concerns?
Mainly the whole I see dead people thing, and the fact that we keep running into my family members.
Hmm. I I fear the largest of the figurines that are the largest of threats loom over you the most.
Oh, good.
I mean, Gazrid's been looking over your family for
Generations now.
generations. At least Lita wasn't lying about that.
I just don't know what she wants with me.
I I will say that I do know what she wants with your family.
She wants us all dead, does she not?
She wants you back.
Oh, I don't like that answer.
So I don't know. It's been a long time, but there was a myth that long ago, there was a goddess whose name is now only whispered in ill repute. Some gods have died, some gods have been forgotten. This god has more been erased. So, of course, a place like ours, the Wavering Tower, is going to have a little bit of information on this goddess by the name of Volarban. They were taken across the Vale, and when they came back, helped by a particular dark elf known only as the Spider,
Spooky.
Volarban liberated your people, the Types, from the rule of Gazarid. In doing so, nearly caused a civil war between Gazarid and another of the Dreadlords, which actually ended in an entire war with the Dreadlords against the gods. But I digress. Uh, Ever since Gazarid has grown vengeful, hungry, it's very possible that she wants either revenge or she wants to pull you back across the veil.
Well, that sucks for her, I suppose.
Now, the being able to see dead people, when you see these people, do you see them often or is it only in certain places? And how do they look when you see them?
If I recall correctly, this is me to DM. They're blue when I see them, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And I've only seen them once. Twice?
Twice.
Twice. Okay. Thank you. Ah, certain situations, I suppose. I've seen them twice before, and they're usually blue.
Seems you have some supernatural ability to see into, or some connection to the realm of lost souls.
I saw my other grandmother there.
Generally, when a soul isn't welcome, or if they're not quite done, so to say, if they don't make it to their chosen gods' heavenly halls, they tend to linger and cross over into a realm that's probably one of the realms that's closest to our material realm, which is the realm of the dead and lost souls. If you've ever heard of a ghost, that's essentially what these are. Is that you're able to see these apparitions. Again, this might be another good omen for us,
Here's hoping.
so to say. Now, when it comes to your family, I will say it is up to you if you want to try to hunt them down or something along those lines. And he goes in and he pulls out a figurine of your mother
Oh, hi, Mom.
and places it in the Hollow Hills, which is the mountain range that kind of, it's west of you. I'll show you a map later. But yeah, like seems to be in the middle of the Hollow Hills. Could be underneath, could be on top.
Okay.
Now now that we've addressed everyone that's here, There is one more thing that I do want to go over. A change in climate that some of you have already seen. Not literal climate, but the political climate around the realm since Emperor Seskel has taken the throne. Corbin, the general that you killed, the witch hunter.
Yes?
I fear that as you move throughout the realm, you are going to see more and more of these forces. Some of them are going to be mercenaries. Some of them may be misguided soldiers. Others may be religious zealots. But be careful with your magic. And this goes for all of you. Any magic that doesn't fall within the purview of what Emperor Seskel has deemed appropriate could lead you to a lot of trouble. If it's not divine magic, if it's not elemental magic, be wary. These packs of witch hunters are only going to grow more brazen and more numerous as long as Seskel's on the throne.
Should we maybe do so? I'm guessing Seskel's crown or Seskel's symbol is more or less also used for the witch hunters?
Yes. Now, the peaceful way would be to find this Ulrich child, wherever they are in Harrow's Point, in the middle of fucking nowhere. But if Wick thinks that this person has a greater claim to the throne, then that could be a peaceful way to remove Seskel. But I do fear that there is going to be a call for violence as these witch hunters move.
So be careful. Okay.
Be careful and be compassionate. There are going to be people that need your help. Now, before we send you off to, get the Erethium in the town nearby, we have a few things to give you to help you out on your quests. So we took the initiative and we've upgraded your lantern, especially now that you're having more people there. And we've done a little bit of repairs. So you see one of the aides brings the lantern there. Lantern now it has like a metal crook for a handle now. It seems a lot more sturdy, like it's made out of brass and iron.
That's nice.
And the lantern itself looks a lot larger and a lot more ornate. And yeah, you'll see how it looks by next week. They also grab a medallion and they fling it over to, like, they throw it onto the table. They say, if you get in trouble, go to a magic store, show this medallion, and they will help you. Past that, anything else you'll need will be in the lantern. So before we conclude, go ahead.
What is so special about the medallion?
So the medallion has, like, as you look at it, it's just a simple medallion with a tower. But as you kind of look at it from all the angles, it seems to be pointing in the same direction.
So, like, you're saying that wherever we look at the medallion from, the tower is turned in the same direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a secret society, we tend to have connection.
Well, I would hope so.
Oh, I didn't know the society was secret. Right then.
But yes, we'll gather some more supplies for you. Food, weapons, armor, whatever you need. As well, feel free to grab as much as many items as you need from the town there. I hope that this much gold suffices. And you see two more aides come out from one of the doors, and they're holding a trunk full of gold.
Okay, who wants to be party bank? I can do that because I have a bunch right now.
I'll send you the amount there, but it's a lot.
Okay. I currently have 839 gold, by the way.
Jesus Christ! Right, I forgot that you guys found that thing.
Yeah. Thank you, Militar.
But yeah, so we will start on the calibration of the portal disc. If you want to go into town to pick up the erythium, and then from there we should be able to leave within about a day's time.
Okay.
And with that, that's where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Insert music here. Do, 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 do.